Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia, and a little over a year ago, I traveled to the Balkans and started my trip in Romania. I was fascinated by the culture and several videos that I'd seen about how beautiful Romania was, and so I really wanted to go. So I booked a 12-day tour through Gate 1 Tours. Then I spent another 4 weeks exploring the Balkans. Today I'm going to share 10 things to know before you visit Romania. Number 1, the language. Romania uses the Latin alphabet, so the signs are easy to read for English speakers. Most of the younger people do speak English, but that's not necessarily the case with some older people. You can get by on your translator app. I also got by on pointing to what I wanted or nodding about things. So don't let the language stop you from visiting Romania. It is a beautiful country. The second thing you should know is about the money. So the money is called RON, R-O-N, and $1 equals a little over $4 in the Romanian currency. It is more affordable in Romania than Western Europe. Credit cards are pretty much accepted in most of the bigger towns, but not necessarily in the rural areas. So you'll want to have some cash on you, so you will be able to buy things when you go to the smaller towns. What I did is I got some foreign currency at my bank before I went to Romania, and then if I needed more, you could just go to an ATM. I try to go one that's connected to a bank if I can. I just feel like those are safer. So you'll want to make sure that you do have some cash on you. 10% tip is pretty common in most restaurants, but other places tipping is really not done at all. So number 3, what's the third thing you need to know? You need to know the best time to go. So if you want to go for mild weather, you can go between April and May. If you want to go with less tourists, you'll want to go in the fall, September or October. I went in June and it was pretty hot. It was in the 80s, mid 80s, and sometimes even 90. A couple of days, I believe it got up to 90. So it was pretty hot in June. So if I had to do it over again, I think I probably would go in the fall. So you'll want to look at that and see when the best time that you would like to go. Number 4, transportation. So trains are pretty common in Romania, but they're really slow. So you may not want to do that. Uber and Bolt are available in the bigger cities, but not in the rural areas. There are lots of buses, so buses are pretty common, and you can walk everywhere in the towns that I went. Of course, I was on a tour, so I was on a tour bus some of the time, so I didn't have to look for transportation a lot, but I did do that a couple of times. I rode a taxi one time that I know. Other than that, I walked. So I was warned by my hotel to be careful about the taxis that were outside of our hotel, and I was at a really nice hotel in downtown Bucharest. So by them saying that, that made me think that the taxis might try to overcharge you. So they did tell me if I needed a cab to come to the front desk, and they would call me one, and that's what they did my last day there. And I had to get to the train station. I asked them about getting a cab for me, and they were glad to do that. So what else do you need to know? Well, you want to know about the food. So that's number 5, the food in Romania. The traditional dishes are cabbage rolls, polenta, grilled minced meat, sausages, and tripe. So I tried all of it but the tripe. I just couldn't make myself try the tripe. So if you are more adventurous than me, you might want to try the tripe. But the food was good when I was there. The tap water is safe, although most people drink bottled water, and I did drink bottled water while I was there. So what's the sixth thing you want to know? Culture. You want to know about the culture. Romanians are warm and hospitable, but they can be reserved at first. Our tour guide was from Romania, and she was very friendly, very nice, and was very helpful in seeing things from the Romanian perspective. Smoking is common also there, is part of the culture. It reminds me of what it used to be like 30, 40 years ago here in the States, where you see ashtrays everywhere. So it wasn't a bother, but just know that smoking is common there. So number 7, safety. So I felt very safe as a female solo. I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. Before I started my tour, I was there on myself alone. I was walking everywhere. I didn't feel uncomfortable anywhere. And even when I was on the tour, I went off on my own lots of times. So I didn't feel uncomfortable the whole time I was there. So I think you should feel pretty safe when you're in Romania. There is some petty crime there, but not really any violent crime. Number 8, what about a visa, or how long can you stay? So U.S. citizens do not have to have a visa, and you can stay 90 days in a 180-day period. So that is convenient to be able to stay that long if you really wanted to explore longer. Bucharest has an international airport, and so that's where most people come into Romania, is at that airport in Bucharest. Number 9, what's the healthcare like? Fortunately, I didn't have to find that out firsthand, but everything that I've read has said that healthcare is really good, especially in the major cities, so you shouldn't have any problems there. Travel insurance is recommended. I know I always buy travel insurance because you never know if you're going to need it. I think in the last 3 or 4 years, I've used it 3 times. So you never know what's going to happen. So you would definitely want to get travel insurance. So where should you go? That is number 10. Where should you go in Romania? First of all, you want to go to Transylvania. That's where everybody wants to go, right? And see all the castles there. And then you'll want to look at the medieval towns of Braslav and Sibiu and Sighisoara. You will want to go to Bucharest for the history and the architecture. You'll want to go to some rural towns so you can see the wooden churches and the painted monasteries. And if you're interested in hiking or skiing or nature, you'll want to go to the Carpathian Mountains. There's also the Black Sea coast for beach resorts. So there's lots of things to see in Romania, and it is a wonderful country, and I would definitely not mind going back there again. I hope you enjoyed my tips on Romania. I hope you stay tuned for my next video, which will be coming out a week after this video, and it'll be more on Romania. If you have any questions for me, please leave them down in the comment box, and please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.